My guest is in the house. We have spoken a number of times on this show, and it's always been very interesting speaking with my guest. My brother, my sister, coming all the way from India. He is a celibate monk. My brother, my sister, we have a very interesting conversation coming up, and I know you are more than ready. He is a Hare Krishna conscious. His Grace Baladeva Prabhu is in the house. And he's a celibate monk, my brother, my sister, from the Chowpatty, right? Chowpatty, right there in India. Oh my God, have mercy. Our conversation is about to take place right now. Baladeva Prabhu, welcome.
Thank you.
I am happy to have you one more time. Can you draw the mic closer to you so we can hear you better? Thank you so much. All right. You are in the country one more time. You come in, how often do you come into Ghana?
I usually come every year once. Last year I missed you and Ghana. I couldn't come last year.
That is true. That is true. Wow.
So I've been like 5 to 6 times I have been on this show. And thanks for hosting me.
Wow. Thank you so much. Well, and then he's also accompanied here by my very good friend, Gianna Chaxos Das. Gianna, thank you so much for coming over. Thank you. Okay. So my guest is a celibate monk. We have spoken so many times. And every time I speak with him, I want to continue speaking with him. Tell me, in Hare Krishna consciousness, what is food to you?
Yeah, that's a very, very important topic you have chosen today. Very relevant. Because food is an essential part of our existence. We can't deny food. And through food, we get not just vigor, energy, but we also get an aura around us. So there's a beautiful saying, you are what you eat. So that could also mean you are, that is your body is what you eat, and also the mind is what you intake.
So what is food to you? What do you consider as food?
Food is something which is required for our human existence. In spiritual life they call it keep the body and soul together, right? Just like in a vehicle, if you want to drive, you need the diesel or fuel or gas, whatever you call here. Similarly, for the body to continue, requires some nourishment. That's called food. Anna, that's called anna in Hindi. Jaisa anna, vaisa man, or vaisa prasanna. So, you are what you eat, and that what you eat, if it's a bona fide, it's the right thing, you eat, it keeps your body well nourished, and it keeps your mind also in proper aura.
Are there some foods that do not keep your body strong and in order?
That is very simple. Even if you go to doctor, they'll also prescribe you what you should eat and what you should not eat, right? There is a saying, every man has his own food, right? Like a very strange thing, if you analyze the animal kingdom, the lion or the herbivorous animals like giraffe or deers, they eat what is prescribed to them, right? A lion will go hungry but will never eat grass.
That's true.
Right? And a deer will not change his food because they know this is designed for us by the nature, it's good for us, and therefore that's how they live. So when it comes to human life, then human life, the body is designed in such a way that we need to take food which will help us to grow and not which deteriorates our growth. So there are so many food items which are, we call it junk food, right?
Junk food, right.
Junk food. Why you call junk food? Any idea why you call junk food?
Junk food, right.
It's a junk. That means go inside, it will create crunk inside, right? So we need to, while we have a lot of wonderful varieties of foods in our society to eat, We need to be very conscious of what we eat. And apart from that, every person knows what he can digest, right? One man's food is other man's poison, they say it, right? So we need to also see the indications from the body, and then we should align ourselves. And food plays a major role if someone is spiritual, right? If someone is spiritually inclined, then if he wants to advance spiritually, get some good thought process by which he can access God's energy, God's mercy, then he need to also know that this body is a vehicle, a means to access God's mercy. And therefore the body needs an upkeep, a maintenance. So therefore, like I was reading a very amazing managing principle. It's a management book, but they call it this GIGO principle. I don't know whether you heard this. GIGO. GIGO. What goes in, that comes out. Of course, they said garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. GIGO.
That's right.
So similarly, this whole idea of food also is what goes in, that comes out as your output. So if you are worrying about the output, we need to very much focus about how we give out in the world. Then we need to also focus what we get in.
That's right.
Our structure.
That's right. Okay. I mean, I'm so happy you're talking about spirituality and food. There are some kinds of foods that you eat and that you draw closer to God, right? What are these kinds of food? Tell me.
Food which is in the Bhagavad Gita scriptures, it is mentioned about food can be of 3 different divisions. They call it 3 modes. So one is mode of goodness, the other is passion, and the other is ignorance. So food in the mode of goodness helps us, nourishes us, keeps us fresh, makes us feel pleasure, fulfillment, and we work with great vigor. That's called goodness. Passionate foods are those which are very difficult to obtain, and lot of activity goes on in preparing them in terms of heavy thing, and then we eat that, we feel a kind of a very passionate behavior. And of course, mode of ignorance, the last one, are those food which are very difficult to digest. It gets in it gets in our system too much, difficulty. When it comes out, also difficulty. You eat, difficulty to eat, and you throw out, difficulty to throw out.
Interesting. Give me examples of these foods that you mentioned: the goodness, the passion, and of course the ignorance.
Essentially, fruits, vegetables, these are very much in the mode of goodness.
Goodness, okay.
Right? And then we have passionate foods which are very
difficult to make.
Difficult to make, plus heavy to digest. And you eat, then you feel very bloat in your stomach, and you need to eat something extra, drink something to digest that.
Wow.
You need an extra aid. And ignorance are those food.
This kind of food can include banku and fufu. Have you come across banku and fufu?
I'm not really tasted banku and fufu.
It's yam that they cook first and foremost, then they spend time to pound it, hours to pound it, and then they make a soup different, and then it goes with that.
How does it taste? I'm asking you.
It's actually carbohydrate, starch.
It is good for health?
Well, it bloats you, it makes you feel heavy.
But then it gives energy to you?
A lot of energy, yes.
I think it's a traditional food here, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So then I don't know banku and fufu, but I can tell you an example. If you're going to eat, let's say every night, evening, pizzas and burgers, that's going to stay in your stomach and rot there, because it's not going to get digested very easy. It takes time to digest. So such foods should be occasionally taken, not a regular thing. Therefore they call it junk food. In fact, sometimes such food is called as fast food.
Fast food, right.
If you see, fast food means you have to fast from that food.
This is
fast food you don't
3FM.
eat every day. When you're fasting, that time you eat the fast food. So fast food also is occasionally.
Right.
Occasionally one can take, one can digest, but not a regular diet.
How about the ignorance one?
Ignorance. Ignorance are those food which are stale. long time cooked away. You just deposit in the fridge, bring it out, cook, which is not very healthy also. You just have to add so many pepper to make it feel little bit of a kind of a eatable. So that's one stale is there, and plus too much hot to eat. Some food are so hot to eat, you eat, and when you pass, it's hot when it comes out. You feel perspiration.
Wow.
You feel agitation. So those are in the mode of ignorance.
Where would you classify fish and meat and eggs?
See, non-vegetarian foods, as you're mentioning, this food is also part of the human society. People are eating this food, but we see that it's at the cost of someone's life, right? I was going through a statistics, very amazing statistics. I would like to share with all our viewers here and also you that every year 74 billion land animals are killed just for food. How many? 74 billion.
Wow.
Average one human being eats 30 land animal every year. One human being. And we're not counting aquatics and birds in this.
Wow.
So can you imagine? We are sacrificing so many lives. So I am not here to debate about vegetarian, non-vegetarian. I'm just presenting facts, how we have to be very conscious of the nature around us. Just like, for example, won't your neighbor is there, you would like to have the neighbor to also be sensitive to you. If the neighbor starts blasting a DJ or a big music at night, 1 p.m., 1 a.m., what will happen? Hey, be sensitive, it's night time, take rest. So just like we want our neighbors to be sensitive to us, we should be also sensitive to people around us. And our neighbors include everyone in the human society, everyone in the broader society of animals, birds, etc.
These classes of food that you mentioned, which one of them makes us or takes us closer to God?
If you analyze properly, the food which is very easy to digest, the food which gives nourishment, which is quite traditional, quite ages, and it's very easy, naturally grown. You see, fruits and vegetables, they grow on the plants. So along with those food or whatever fruit, there's a taste involved in it. Most of the time we see modern foods, we have to add a lot of spices to make it tasty. But natural foods are those which are having already a taste in that. So if someone wants to grow spiritually, right now we're discussing spiritual growth. Yeah?
Right, spiritual.
So spiritually one needs to grow, then one needs to make his food as simple as possible. That's very easy, not much of a violence, not much of too much passion, and eat it, digest it, and utilize the energy coming out of the food in connecting with God or in connecting God to everyone you meet.
Would you then suggest that we take a bit of each, not only fruits, as in the passion, and not also in the extreme, the ignorance, but we should take a bit of each?
Actually, we cannot change our habits overnight, right? Habits, it's like a habit. You remove the H, a bit is still there. You remove the A, bit is still there. Remove the B, it is still there. So habits or conditionings will not go overnight. So what we need to do is gradual progress in that direction. Knowledge is very important. Sometimes when I travel in many countries, I meet people and they ask, do you have something for me? So I give them not some wealth or money. I give them book, knowledge. So what is this? So I tell them knowledge is more important than wealth. Wealth will come and go away, gone. Knowledge will remain. You read something, then you can churn it, you can contemplate, and you can apply in your mind. So the whole idea of this conditionings which we have, upbringing which we have, we cannot change overnight, and we don't need to change also. It can't be done. But if you know what is the goal of life, you know what we have to do in our life, where we are heading. Just imagine athletes. I was told athletes also go on a diet, right? Swimmers, those who go on the sprint run, those who are football players, they have a diet. When a tournament is going on, they just can't eat anything. The coach decides what they will eat. Why? Because that diet helps the overall activity and the output of the athlete. So similarly, we those who are spiritual, they are also spiritual athlete. So if they want to connect with God, they want to help carry the wisdom of God to everyone else's life, share them. So that person also needs to, just like an athlete, take care of his diet. He also needs to take care of his diet. So the coaches are the one who are our mentors, or counselors, or pastors. They are a coach for us.
Let me get a little personal with you. Baladeva Prabhu. What is your food like morning, afternoon, and evening? What do you eat in the morning?
Thank you. That's a very private question, but I would like to honor to answer this. Generally now, because as we grow in age, so then the digestion is not as strong as we were before. Like you all remember, like we were small, we could digest anything. But now we have to be careful. So now I take twice in a day my food. So like afternoon, I don't take anything in the afternoon, but little late in the morning and early in the evening. There's two times I take, and I take some fruits also. So basic vegetarian food, because I come from India. I'm practicing a path of spirituality which promotes compassion to animals and also others, compassion to everyone, and especially food is a very important factor. So I take a vegetarian diet, and we honor, and not just we take the food, but there's a concept of offering the food, right? That means we are grateful to God that He has given us this food. So we honor that food, and we thank God, and then we accept the food. That's called offering. That's called altar. You altar and you offer, and then you partake, which is called a sanctified food.
What did you eat today?
Today morning I ate Indian food. If you are aware of Indian food, then there is something called as rotis. That's called flat bread made of wheat. I ate some vegetables, and I ate some rice and some dal. So these are the basic things which I eat.
Oh, so you have some roti, you have some dal, no chapati, right?
Roti and chapati is same.
Same.
This is 3FM.
All right, it's interesting. Have you been to Kumasi since you came?
Oh, no, I have not been to Kumasi. I want to go. Hope one day I'll go.
All right, so there's a mayor in Kumasi right now who says that the streets in Kumasi are inundated with animals. People leave stray animals, cows on the street. Now they're going to start killing all the cows, and they will feed the meat of the cows to the prisoners. I know India is a country that considers the cow a lot. Do you have a lot of cows on the streets, and how do you deal with that in India?
In India, the cows on the streets are basically those cows whom the owner, most probably the farmers who have the cows, they can't raise them. So because to raise an animal requires a lot of money to feed them. And once the cow goes without milk, then instead of sending it to slaughterhouse, they prefer just send it on the street. So that's why we find many places, not all places, India is a very big country and also a lot of population, but cows are astray. But there are dogs also, there are some other animals also on astray. So cows. But there are now many people who are NGOs who are bringing in all this part of connection with PETA, PETA. And then they connect and they bring all the stray cows and dogs and give them shelter, feed them. And NGOs are getting money also, because there are many people now in today's world, they're animal lovers. You know, the whole society of vegan, what is this? Everywhere veganism is increasing. Why? Because of compassion to animals. So they understand the economic problem of cows are outside, dogs are there, and then causes trouble, nuisance to the economies and also to the public sector. So then to solve this issue of, instead of killing, they provide a shelter house where all these are sheltered, and people are there who provide money, and the NGOs run this show. And in this way, the problem is solved, and also we don't create another problem to solve our problem.
A man who eats only fruits, all other things remaining equal, is he going to be closer to God than the man who eats roti and dal and, all other such things?
The food is going to help us, but food is not the only means. We should know that. Also, we are talking about sanctified food, right? Offering to God with gratefulness. We need to know that we all have one very important thing in our body. That's called tongue, right? Which we all are using. Now I'm using my tongue to talk to you. So tongue has two functions. One is in, other is out. In means what it takes it. So food articles, it takes food articles. Taste buds. We don't eat anything unless it's tasty, right? Can you imagine eating something which has no taste and keep on eating? Can't eat. It's austerity sometimes. You just eat because if someone tells you to eat a tasteless food, you'll eat out of austerity, but you'll not eat out of kind of very enjoyment and fun. So eating or taking in food articles, that's called in. And out is speech. The tongue is there to speak. So it is said the tongue is considered like a radar. A big ship is the ship. Big boat, huge. The main captain of the ship, he handles the radar. A small thing. Compared to ship, it's very small. It turns the radar, the whole big tons and tons of ship just tons. So the body is considered to be a boat, a ship, and a tongue is a radar. So what goes in and what comes out has to be controlled. So it depends on what we take in. So our food will decide our journey. Yeah. So then in that case, some food, some fruits are very practical or very favorable for our spiritual journey. But it doesn't mean that someone just eats fruit, then he is automatically spiritual. Not necessary. Like one time, Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder of ISKCON, from which I belong to, Hare Krishna. So one proud man came and said, Prabhupada, Swamiji, today I have become vegetarian. So he thought Swamiji will be very happy. Prabhupada told him, monkeys are also vegetarian. Right? Monkeys are also vegetarian. Vegetarian is the first step. The main thing is connection with God. I would rather say before becoming vegetarian and then spiritual, I would say become spiritual. When you become spiritual, all the values come in. You become very sensitive to society. And then you realize, I can avoid this. I can reduce this. And then you come to naturally a diet of food which is not much of violence. If you can't avoid totally fully, then you can do only sometimes in a year or sometimes in a month. Gradual. I believe in gradual progress than the fast progress.
Sugar and honey, do they play any part in the Hare Krishna movement?
Yeah, we use honey, we use sugar in our diet. But it's not like every day we use honey, sugar and honey. Only when festivals are there, when we have we offer a lot of items and we have a lot of guests coming in, then we have some nice food items like halwa. Then we have, I don't know whether you know these Indian names, halwa, gulab jamun, rasgulla, sandesh, barfi, laddus. It's all made
This
from
is
either sugar
3FM.
or honey.
Interesting. Fasting, is it important? I was speaking with a friend yesterday and he told me he was fasting for 7 days. 7 days no food? I cannot imagine that. Do you do fast like that? 7 days no food, no water? Is fasting important anyway?
Fasting is important not just for spiritual, but even for material intake. Like nowadays there is a concept of detox. You want to detox? What is detox? Detox means they will keep you away from certain food, don't eat only once in a year, once in a day, or only take juices made from raw vegetables. So that's also fasting, right? So fasting helps to invigorate the body. The body is working. Like for example, we are working outside. We need a gap. We need a holiday, right? Sunday is a holiday. We're happy. Easter is coming. 4 days of holiday. We're going to have away from work. We'll do with our family. We'll spend time and we'll have a nice spiritual weekend here. Anyways, coming to the main point, we need a holiday. Similarly, the body also needs a holiday. The body is just taking, digesting. The system requires a stoppage, a pause. So fasting, even in the outside consideration, helps in getting the body to reshape, to revigorate. So Even doctors who are very intelligent, they prescribe fasting. Fasting can be of any type. It can be with water, without water, with food, with fruit, with grains. Different types of fasting is there. Similarly, if you see, come back to spiritual aspect now, you'll find that fasting is a very much known thing within the scriptures. Take it Christianity or Islam or Judaism or Hinduism, there is always some kind of fasting recommended. Why? Because if you want to please someone, here we want to please God, then in that case we also want to sacrifice something which we like to have every day. So we are, just like for example, if you love someone, if you love a family, then you do so much of sacrifice for the family, right? Like I see so many people are working outside. They just carry a little bit of food in the afternoon. Lunch is supposed to be good food, but they eat little food. But they go home and take the dinner, very nice food. So sacrifice. And sacrifice food, and they forget to take water. Why? Because they want to do some activity by which the family will benefit. We are doing it for family. Similarly, we are doing sacrifice of fasting for whom? The main person in the family. God family. For God.
Interesting. With the Hare Krishna consciousness, what is your fasting like? What is the longest period you've seen somebody fast without food, personally?
In Hare Krishna, then there is not much of pressure in fasting. There are recommended fasting mentioned twice a month we have fasting, 15 days each. That's called Ekadashi. Jana is very famous for helping people with Ekadashi fasting. He recommends. So then Ekadashi fasting. But then that also is like, depends. There is no force as such. You can fast either without water. If you can't do it with water, still can't do it, then you eat fruits. Can't do it, then you eat non-grains.
You mean for all 15 days?
No, just 1 day in 15 days.
Okay.
So twice in a month is Ekadashi fasting. This is the main fasting. And so that is called the main fasting. Apart from that, there are some festivals which come. Like there is Lord Krishna's appearance day, the way he appeared. Like Jesus Christ appeared on 25th December. So Krishna also came, Rama also comes. So on that day also there is half fasting, full fasting. There is 1 day in the year which is called as Bhima Nirjal Ekadashi. So that day it is recommended highly if someone can fast without water also. It's not forced, but it's recommended. If you do it, what will happen? Then it will help you to, sometimes while you fast, other days around the year, we could make a mistake. We could eat something unknowingly. Nowadays, most of us depend on the outside foods package industry, right? Like I was in Nigeria, and it will, hey, fasting day, don't take milk. So why? Because sometimes the milk is made of milk powder, and milk powder, you don't know what they add. They may add some grains also. So then, in one land, like in the example of Nigeria, I was told better to not take milk. But in India, that restriction may not be there. So sometimes some adjustment comes. Sometimes we may make a mistake and we may unknowingly break our fast without knowing it. So once in a year, there is one Ekadashi, one very powerful. You follow it. In case you are broken, then that gets what do you say? Rectified, yeah.
Yeah. Hare Krishna consciousness, I know that you drink milk. Are you not... you don't want to have compassion for the baby of the cow. You want to drink the milk that the baby of the cow should be feeding on?
Very good question. So I had a good opportunity of being part of one shelter house where cows are taken care. In fact, in Mumbai we have a very brilliant eco village. I invite you to please come, and all the people who are hearing this, Govardhan Eco Village in Mumbai. It has won this tourism award, which is the United Nations Tourism Award for last 3 years back. So in Eco Village we have a cow shelter where I also get chance because one of my best friends is taking care of the cow. So I saw that there is a science behind milking of cow. It is not like you just put those machines in the udder of the cow and just suck all the milk. It is science. The science is that a cow essentially gives milk for its calf. Okay. So bring the calf, the cow sees the calf, and all the udders of the cow is full with milk, and the calf is drinking the milk. Now, I was told the calf doesn't know how much to take. Sometimes if the cow keeper is not very vigilant, the calf may take more milk and end up having indigestion. So therefore it is said scientifically, the cow gives milk to not just calf but also for the human society. So calf gets their share, and after the calf is done, the remaining share is for us. So that's how the cow, and the cow is also called in many countries, especially in India, as mother, because she gives milk. Milk is given to mother, nourishes us. So while our mother feeds us milk when we are small babies, cow is feeding us milk throughout the life. So she's also anyone who helps us in our growth, she is our mother.
I'd like to say something.
Okay, all right, Gianna.
Prabhu,
Please.
Okay, so many a times people ask me the same question. So why vegetarians, why taking milk? Is it that you are punishing the calf? So what Prabhu is saying that, in fact, milking a cow is very scientific. And in India, in Mumbai, we have Govardhan Eco Village, where we've even won UN award. So we have so many cows there. So what he's saying is that when the cow is there and they're going to milk it, they bring the calf, and when the mother see the calf, then the udder becomes very heavy and they're able to milk the cow. But the calf is unable to drink all the milk within a day. That when it takes more than necessary, it even gives the calf indigestion. I don't know if you have aquarium in your house. Mm-hmm. Those fishes, you can't feed them twice a day. When you feed the fishes twice a day, they will die. When you put the food in, they will eat it and they will die the next morning. So if you have an aquarium in your house, they will advise you only once a day. So in the evening, you put in the food for them to eat. So same way, the calf, when it takes too much milk, it gets indigestion. But coming back to the spiritual side, we see the cow as our mother. Yes. So in Sanskrit, the cow is called Go Mata, mother. So cow is our mother, so we are okay to drink our mother's milk.
Mother's milk, right.
Once I met one Rastafarian, and we were having a debate why the vegetarians take milk.
Right.
That it is bad, it's an animal product. So I asked him, do you have kids? And he said, yes, I have kids. So when your wife gave birth to the kids, did they suck their mother's milk? He said, yes. I said, were they harming their mom by sucking their breast milk? I said, no. So I said, yes. If your mother is feeding with breast milk, it's out of love.
Yeah.
And we see the cow as our mom, so we don't think that we are harming the cow. The same way our children suck our wife's breast milk, and that's cool. That's the same way we say it. Okay. So vegetarians, we don't punish the calf by taking all the milk. We take a little bit, and then they are happy.
All right, so you take a little bit of the milk, and then the calf is happy that his brothers and sisters are also drinking from the milk of the mother, right? Well, I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on the show. We have run out of time. If you have any other thing to add, please, Baladeva, please go ahead and add that.
I thank you for this wonderful show, which is going on for a very, very long time. And whenever I come, it's my great delight to meet you and have a nice conversation with you. I offer my best wishes for this show.
Thank you.
And we pray to God, pray to Krishna, pray to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that may this show become more better and help people in Ghana and also all over the world to grow materially and spiritually. Thank you.
Amen. So how do you say Amen in Hare Krishna consciousness?
We say Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on the show, Gianna, as well. Yes.
Hare Krishna.